Product review time again here in Alpha Bow Hunting, and this time we've got the Quivalizer by Trophy Taker. Thanks again for checking out Alpha Bow Hunting. Just want to remind you, we've got videos that go up every Wednesday. So if you like the channel, please subscribe. We do have some giveaways coming up. The Hamsky Archery Solutions giveaway will be coming up shortly. In addition to that, I'm going to be announcing our next giveaway, which I'm very excited about, and that will go up this week. So, first things first, got a product review on the Quivalizer. And I want to start off by saying, when I first saw this product, about a year and a half ago at the ATA show, I honestly laughed. It was something that just looked funny. It didn't look right on a bow having your arrows sitting down low, hanging off the stabilizer, and didn't really give it much thought after that. I looked at it, I said, kind of gimmicky, but I had a request from a viewer, Mark. Thanks for the request on doing a review on this product. So once I started diving in and taking a look at the product for what it was, it really brought me back to a podcast that I did earlier in the year talking about when to upgrade equipment and why, and specifically using features or certain aspects of accessories or a bow, what have you, to help make you a better hunter, a more accurate archer, and just more proficient in the field. And I started looking at this and started playing with it a little bit, and it didn't bother me the length of the stabilizer. I've been using a 15-inch bar on my front bar and a 12-inch bar on the side bar, and a tight spot quiver on my setup, and that's what I use for Train to Hunt Colorado, and it's worked very well. It's shot very accurately for me. So I put this on, and I've been kind of interchanging back and forth between the two setups over the last 3 weeks or so, maybe a month now. And all I can say is, the more I've shot this thing, the more I like it. And a couple reasons why, and I'll show you the first reason. First things first, I spent most of the time shooting this bow up to about a week or so before Train to Hunt Colorado, which was June 18th and 19th, just shooting a front bar and a side bar, and I didn't really mess around with the quiver. Not quite into hunt mode yet, so I haven't really been practicing with that. Well, as soon as I did throw the quiver on, it's pretty noticeable. I ended up having to add some weight to the sidebar and kick it out just a little bit to help it balance properly. And what I noticed right away with this is I didn't need anything else. I've got the arrow swept off here to the left side, and it seems to be balancing this bow very well. So when I check the weight here to tell you, see where we're at here. So it's 6.38 pounds. You can see it there, 6.38 pounds. And I'll weigh my other setup here, but having already weighed it before in the testing process of this, it's about 7.5 and change, just shy of 7.6 pounds. So shaving off almost 1.25 pounds from my total setup. And I'll tell you that coming from a target background, a 3D background I should say, a heavier bow to me feels better. My pin movement is slower, it's steadier, so I like a heavier bow to a certain point. When I was shooting this with my front bar and my side bar, that was enough. It balanced great, it shot great. But again, once I put that quiver on, then it took me out of that comfort zone a little bit, and I had to rebalance the bow. So having shot at this bow this way, I've shot it out to 80 yards and tested it just accuracy and group size wise, and I've lost 0 in my group sizing with this setup. So again, is it a little bit longer than my, this is my front bar side bar combination, and when you line this up, you can kind of get an idea. It's about 3 inches longer than my 15-inch front bar as far as length. So we already know that you're basically losing one accessory by not having a quiver and a front and side bar. So I've lost the weight. bonus. That's a good thing. The other thing that I'm okay with is um, having this set up here. Like I said, it serves as it's a 2-for-1. So that whole losing an accessory seems to be a bonus. One of the questions that I got asked just in the shop was, well, what about when you're spotting and stalking? Is it going to be too long? And my answer to that is this: if you happen to be in let's say an elk hunting situation, you're moving in and you're trying to get in for a shot, and you've got an arrow loaded and you're just waiting for the right shot or the scenario to approach, and you're having to maneuver in and out of trees. Well, you can take a look there. That arrow doesn't stick out any further than the tip of that hood of that quiver, or the Quivalizer or the stabilizer. So anytime you're going to be coming around a tree and you're going to have to move because of that arrow sticking in front, it's going to be no difference with this setup off the front. So to me, that's really not an issue. Is it going to be something you're going to have to get used to? Yes, potentially. You're going to have to get used to the a little bit longer bar. And I'm going to start off by saying, if you don't use a long bar already, then this is going to be a little bit new. There's going to be a learning curve, and you're going to have to practice with it. So me being used to a little bit longer front bar, the transition here is not, I see no issue. The other concern, and I've talked to a few friends that have been hunting with this, and they seem to have very little negative to say, if anything at all, and it seems to be a great setup. So one of the issues that did get brought up was potentially crosswind, right? So if you're getting hit with the crosswind because of this catching potentially more air, and I don't know that it's going to be that much more, because if your quiver is mounted on your bow this way, you've got the same surface area. It's positioned slightly different, but you're still getting that side-to-side crosswind. You're getting that regardless whether the quiver's in the front or the back. So to me, it's more about what you're used to. So as far as the construction on this thing, you've got the ability to mount it off the front. It's got a compression fitting here, so you can get it real tight. When you do mount it, it's adjustable. Like I said, you can pitch it in or out to maybe give you a little bit more balance. Another concern that came about was people pulling arrows off the left side and having to come over the top or around your bow. And I would almost venture to guess, I haven't played with it yet, but I'm going to try to sweep these off the right side, my arrows, and get them real tight to the riser. And being that it's going to be so close to the center of gravity, it may balance fairly well there. So I'm going to try that as well. I haven't done it yet, but I haven't had any issue pulling arrows from here and loading personally. Again, not hunted with it yet, but from an accuracy standpoint, it passes my test. From a noise and durability standpoint, it's passed my test. And from the functionality of what it's doing, eliminating weight, overall mass weight on my bow, and still giving me everything I need for Western style hunting, this is starting to creep its way into the potential realm of being on my hunting bow come September. So again, I'm going to be going through some more testing on it in the field, maybe doing some crawling and seeing how it holds up to getting banged around a little bit. You know, like I said, it is of all the bad things I've said about this when it first came out, I guess I should first apologize, because I'm not one, if I'm in the wrong, or if I'm proven wrong, then I'll be one to admit it. And I'm definitely proven myself wrong on this one, because like I said, when it first came out, it just looked goofy. But when you take into account that most developments in archery are from people that think outside the box, that try something new, that aren't afraid to be creative. And Dan over at Trophy Taker, and now I think they've split the company up. They've sold part of that company, and he's keeping the Quivalizer and the sight. Dan Evans, I'm really impressed with this product the more I play with it. So kudos to Dan and his staff over there. Like I said, from a construction and durability standpoint, I'm liking it, and I don't have a lot of anything bad to say about it. Not that I'm looking for anything bad, or I'm just trying to be very unbiased here on this product. And I'll tell you, these things retail for $200. This is a carbon bar that I've got on this setup. And like I said, it's been a pleasure to shoot with this on my bow. So I'm going to continue to play with it. Like I said, I'll probably put a part 2 once I get some more shooting, some more arrows through it. I don't know that this would be a setup that I would be able to shoot for like a train to hunt competition. unless I swept the arrows off the right side. When you're having to quickly reload arrows on a follow-up shot, it seems like this is going to be a little bit more difficult to do. The other thing is running with this setup. It may be a little bit big, but we'll see. If I like it, I may end up continuing to play with it for everything. So Quivalizer, like I said, this thing is roughly 18 and change inches off the front of your riser. This shaved off on my specific setup over a pound, close to 1.25 pounds. If you don't have a heavy front bar and side bar, then it may not take that much weight off, but in my setup it did. So like I said, from that standpoint alone, it's attractive to me. From the standpoint that my accuracy is on par with my other setup, it's definitely passed my test. So the Quivalizer, check it out. Like I said, this is a strictly unbiased review. I paid for this one, and I'm glad I did. Like I said, I've been enjoying it. So thanks again for checking out the videos. Send us any comments or questions if you've got a product out there that you want us to take a look at. We'd be happy to put it through the ringer. And again, if you enjoy the videos, make sure you subscribe, get your name in the hat for the giveaways. So until next time, we'll check you out soon.